Welcome back, everyone. We have our first guest on the show, Rysheema Dixon, the owner of RD Innovative Planning. Welcome, Rysheema.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course, our pleasure. Let's dive right into things. What is RD Innovative Planning?
So its mission is to make sure that communities have everything that they need, right? So that's the resources, the services that a lot of times we see gaps in, right? So if you go to certain communities, a lot of times you see there's no health care, there's no nutrition, there is lack of education. So our company comes in and kind of helps with stabilizing a community, for example. So we'll bring in resources around health care, around education, youth development, and more recently we've been doing some work around workforce development. But we want to make sure that communities have, the optimal time in order for them to actually grow, right? And we know that it takes time in order to do that, so we work with our clients to make sure that that happens.
How did you come up with it? Because I know before, if you're just tuning in, like we're here with the Honorable Rysheema Dixon, and you were City Council at large.
I was, yes.
Was it a brainchild after, like during council when you started to see what communities needed?
No, so actually I started RD Innovative Planning 10 years ago.
Okay.
And so part of what the work that I was doing in council kind of enhanced that work in some capacities in order to see what more of the gaps are that exist. But we had been doing this since September of 2011 and had, wanted to showcase, how communities are shown and how they can actually be improved, but it takes practitioners in order to do that work.
Nice. Was it a hard transition to leave, because you resigned from council to go to do R&D or do RD?
Yeah, so it was probably one of the hardest decisions I made, and mostly because I love doing community work, right? But the aspects that helped me in the transition was that I'm going back to community work, right? So the things that I already love and already into was already there, so it already just kind of enhanced and continues the work that I already do for RD.
Oh, shoot, you good then. Just a nice little transition.
Yeah.
I'm already doing it, been doing it.
Right.
Yep.
I now can do it on a bigger scale.
Exactly, and we actually just went international as a company, in Liberia, and we did social entrepreneurship with helping them start social businesses in their communities. And a lot of those aspects now, we can do that yearly because I have time, right, to focus on building RD Innovative Planning to be what it was supposed to be originally, which is global.
Rysheema, tell us a little bit about the services that you offer.
So we offer project management, focus on community development or community engagement type of work. So we'll help with strategic planning, we'll help with putting on community events within your community, we'll help with making sure that your product gets to that community or that service gets to the community on behalf of our clients. But ultimately, again, whatever service that we feel like can be resourced to the community, we want to make sure that we can tap into those sources so that we can get those to the community.
Wow. The Liberia piece. Well, no, before I even go there, the mission. Let's talk about the mission, right? Because people are probably just tuning in. What is the mission for your company?
So our mission is basically to create sustainable communities using resources and services from our clients. So that can be around healthcare, nutrition, education, or youth development. And we do those things through different projects.
Is that gap really that big?
It is.
I just want to hear you say it. Right.
The one thing is our company will never go out of business.
Right.
Because there is ultimately so many problems within our communities that need to be solved that there will never be a problem that is ultimately solved by just one party like ourselves, but it will need to be multiple entities who are actually doing this work in order to solve many of the community problems.
Nice.
So tell us about some projects that are currently happening.
So we are, doing the Liberia project, but we also are doing Energize Delaware. We help get out grants for Newcastle County on their behalf. We also work with Play Streets here in Wilmington. So we also just expanded into Pottstown, Pennsylvania with Play Streets for the first time, which has been a big hit so far. We've had 2 Play Streets so far there. We also have been doing some work around I feel like everything, because everything runs into each other in my life. But we were just finished up doing some work with Pathways to Apprenticeship, and then we also have been just doing, any type of projects or opportunities that we can exist. We're also trying to work on an opportunity in Ethiopia, actually currently now, around entrepreneurship curriculum.
All right, so let's take a trip to Liberia, right? So we're talking about out of the States.
Yep.
Like, what does that look like in Liberia? Like, was that your first time there? Do you go canvass the place to see what's needed or wanted? How does that go?
Yeah, so we actually, and the crazy part is, we got connected through LinkedIn. So this project actually started because a Mandela Fellow from the University of Delaware that did it in 2011 had reached out to me on LinkedIn and said, hey, you should bring RD Innovative Planning to Liberia. And I was like, you want me to do what? Right. So, and then thought about it and said, hey, we cannot do an office there to start off, but we can do a project. So let's think through a project or opportunity we can do for that. And so when we did that, he was like testing me throughout the time. It was like, trust God, and it's all gonna work out. I'm like, are you sure? Because I don't know. and actually it worked out beautifully, and we actually got to experience a week long in Liberia where literally 25 social entrepreneurs came together. We put them in teams of 5. We had them work on specific projects for 3 days, and literally they pitched on day 4. And I mean, they came up with amazing ideas from waste management companies because they have a huge waste management issue in Liberia. They came up with an innovation education hub for teachers and for high school students that need to learn more about entrepreneurship. They also came up with, our first prize team came up with reusable menstrual pads for girls and women. We also have a team that came up with solar dryer for rural farmers to keep their produce fresh. And literally, they stayed up all 3 days in their group chats, and you could see them like getting really energized. And we're still working with some of the teams now, and actually 2 of the top teams that we gave cash prizes to, they actually are getting mentorship currently from us between Liberia and RD Innovative Planning on the U.S. side. So we're now, because of, I just like fell in love while I was there, standing in the back of the room, just watching them. We're now doing this program yearly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, do you ever want to go back to being into, I guess, a community leader? But you already are a community leader, so I can't really say that you're not.
Politics.
But I guess politics. Would you like to ever revisit that again since you stepped away to focus on RD Innovative? Okay. Not yet.
What they say, I haven't been gone long enough.
Okay.
That's that old saying.
In order to make that decision quite yet. But I have been thinking about political consulting. So I have been.
And that might be
I do
just what's necessary. I think that's really important. I think that's a very important role that is very much necessary because there are many individuals that have that passion to enter into the political world but don't have the right strategy. They don't have the right direction or guidance. And I think that is a role that, something that is necessary. So I think you should.
Thank you.
I think you should.
No, I mean, and dang, go on. I saw RD. I saw it when you was doing it, right? And I'm like, okay, what is she up to? What is she doing? And the next thing I know, it was like, well, Rysheema is no longer city council, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then next thing I look up, you're in Liberia. Like, who is your ideal client? Is it more state or individual organizations?
So I recently reached out to the Obama Foundation because I would love to do some work with their foundation. That's like one of my dream organizations, to do some work with them. They're building out the whole Obama kind of center inside, presidential center there. And I would love to just be a part of that process and see how community is incorporated into that process. So that would be like my ideal client, if I had a dream one.
Right.
And then also just, our thing that we want to just make sure that, again, that we have as much as we can put into communities as possible. So we're talking about philanthropists, organizations, foundations, businesses to businesses that are just trying to start as an entrepreneur who may want to go into solving problems in their communities. We also would like you to be a part of what RD Innovative Planning does also.
Nice. All right, this is your camera. That's the community camera. You can go ahead, you can tell them your wants, your needs, or even just pitch RD.
So If you want to get involved in RD Innovative Planning, we would highly appreciate it. As far as we would love some additional consultants to help us in achieving our mission in regards to just getting out to as many communities as possible, internationally and nationally. And we want to, if you are interested in community development or community engagement type of work, please let us know. We're happy to have you on board. You can contact us through our website, www.rdinnovativeplanning.com. You can call me, which is 302-635-0767, or you can email us at rdinnovativeplanninginfo@gmail.com. And then if you would like me for a speaking engagement, then you would go to info@purposepragency.com.
Excellent.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank
I'm
you,
ready to
Rysheema.
call you Councilwoman again. Just
Not yet.
The title still
Not yet.
carries.
The title's still there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate you. And I don't believe in luck, but I wish you the total best
Thank you.
blessings for your company. And again, thank you for doing what you've been doing, and that's been caring about the community.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me
Yes,
this morning.
thank you.
What's up, everyone? It's your main man, Big Ob, the talk of the town, Mr. DETVCH.com, and I'm here with my wonderful and amazing co-host,
Vincenza.
We just stopped by to tell you to be sure, if you want any information on what's going on in Wilmington and to meet some dynamic people doing some amazing and great things, be sure to watch us live on Good Morning Wilmington on Mondays and Wednesdays at 10 p.m.
Oh, Ivan, 10 a.m.
Which he said, 10 a.m.
Listen to me. That's why he has me here. But yes, tune in live, 10 a.m. Monday and Wednesday on Good Morning Wilmington.
DETVCH.com.